Good morning, children. Welcome back to your business study online class. And today we will be taking the another topic, and that will be the Consumer Protection Act 1986 from your chapter 12. Before this, we already had a discussion about the market approach of KV Tempter and KV Vendor, and what are the different kind of legal act which has been passed by government for the purpose of promoting the interest of consumer and protecting the consumer from the different kind of fraud which was occurring into the market, right? So we have discussed the 10 act. Out of these 10 legal act, the most important act which was passed by government was Consumer Protection Act 1986 for the purpose of protecting and promoting the consumer interest. Now, this was possible by the help of inexpensive redressal agencies. So this is what we are going to discuss today. So before that, let's start that what is called as a consumer right, or what are the different rights which has been given to consumer from COPRA 1986. Now when we talk about the consumer right, according to Consumer Protection Act 1986, it has given 6 right or 6 legal right to the consumer, and for this the Consumer Protection Council has also been set up to promote and protect the various right of consumer. Right, now let's see the first right to safety. According to the COPRA 1986, the consumer has a right of safety, and this safety right basically say that consumer will have to a right to protect against the goods and services which are harmful for the life and its health. It means any goods and services which are harmful for the his health, and any services which are not good for the health of a consumer, they have a right to avoid that goods. They have a right to file complaint against that good. So this is only possible if the consumer are educated that they should use electric appliances like ISI mark, which basically said that consumers should be aware about the different kind of marks which are there into the market, which basically qualified the quality of a product, which basically inform about the quality of a product, and which is given by BIS, right? Like as we all know that if we are going to purchase any electronic product, or if you want to purchase a qualified product which is good for our health, right? Because we cannot, this is basically a matter of safety, right? So we should go through with the ISI mark on that product. So for this, right to safety can also only be considered if even a consumer is also educated and they are also aware about all those things. Now the second right of consumer say, or COPRA 1986 say, that right to be informed, that the consumer has a right to have complete information about the product he intended to buy, including its ingredients, date of manufacture, price, quantity, direction for its use. Now this is the another right which was given to a consumer under a legal framework of COPRA 1986, that the consumer has a full right to know each and every information about the product from the seller side or producer side, whom they are going to sell it and whom the consumer is going to purchase it. Now information right, like information about the product prices, information about the quantity which is there in the product, it means the net weight, or information about how to use that product. So these information should go through with the consumer, and that right has been given by COPRA 1986 to consumer. Now the next right of consumer under COPRA 1986 say, right to choose. Now according to this, the consumer has the freedom to choose from a variety of product at a competitive prices. Now this is possible how? This was possible when we have a market situation of perfect competition. Perfect competition market situation basically say, where there is a, for a same product there is a lots of seller or lots of producer, right? If we will be following a monopoly system, in that way as one product is going to be sold by one producer or one seller only, so consumer will not have an option of choosing, right? If they want, they have to go through with that producer or seller only. But according to this right, and according to this, when the market situation has been changed from KV Tempter to KV Vendor, and there was perfect market competition into the market, so consumer has been given a right to choose any product from the variety which is present into the market, and the seller cannot insist him to purchase his one product only or his own product only. So now lots of variety of products are there, in terms of their qualities, in brand, prices, size. So it basically allowing a consumer or giving him a more choices. The next right say right to be heard. According to this right, the consumer has a right to file a complaint and to be heard in case of dissatisfaction with the goods or services. Now this basically say this right of COPRA 1986 that if any consumer after a deal feel that the deal was a fraudulent deal or deal was not conducted according to the his expectation, यानी वो जो प्रोडक्ट उसने परचेज किया है और द सर्विसेज विच ही रेंडर इट वाज नॉट गिवन हिम द एक्सपेक्टेशन विच ही वाज थिंकिंग, यानी जो वो मान के चल रहा था कि प्रोडक्ट की क्वालिटी होगी वो क्वालिटी उस प्रोडक्ट की नहीं है. सो ही हैज़ अ राइट to fill a complaint in that case. It means if he is dissatisfied by the product or services, he has a right to fill the complaint, and the same time he has a right to be heard also. Now for hearing, the two things are there are certain organization which has make their own grievances cells. Grievances cell can be understood as a form of counseling cell, right, where the complaint of the customers are accepted and the counseling has been done with the customer or their grievances are removed. If there is organization which does not work for the grievances cell, then consumer has a right to fill out the complaint to the redressal agencies also. Now next is right to seek redressal. The right to seek redressal basically say that consumer has a right to get relief in case the product or services fall short of his expectation. Suppose a consumer has purchased any product, he has certain expectation from that product, and these expectation was also match out with the seller at the time of informing about the product. Now after using that product, a consumer is not satisfied, so a consumer has a right to get relief in case the product or services was fall behind or short in his expectation. For this, the Consumer Protection Act has provided number of relief to the consumer. And what kind of relief it is? That the seller has to replace the product, the seller has to remove the defect in the product, the seller has to pay the compensation amount to the product, or in case any injury has occurred, he has to pay out the whole amount of that funds. Now, these all are the rights of a consumer according to COPRA 1986. And the last right say right to consumer education. According to this right, the consumer has a right to acquire knowledge and to be well informed consumer throughout his life. He should be aware about his right and the relief available to him in case of product or services falling short of his expectation. Now, this is possible how a consumer will be knowing that if the product which he has purchased with certain expectation or shortfall, where he is supposed to fill out the complaint, what kind of relief he will be getting. All these information a consumer will be getting only if they have a right or if there are certain organization or association or certain council which is set up for the purpose of educating the consumer. According to COPRA 1986, the Consumer Protection Act, by conferring these rights, consumer has also given certain councils where or certain agencies where these are providing information and awareness to the consumer also, and they are also helping the consumer at the time of filling complaint and at the time of getting relief also. So children, the Consumer Protection Act has provided all these rights to the consumer so that the consumer can get power and can able to fight against the different kind of cheating, like they are exploited into the market by unfair trade practice, by a seller giving less weight of product, giving expiry date of product, giving a wrong information or providing a wrong advertisement to the TV for the purpose of increasing their sale. So these all are different kind of cheating which was done into the marketplace. Now after the consumer rights or after COPRA 1986, if a consumer is aware about all those rights, then it is difficult for a seller to cheat him. Now in the next topic we will be talking about the consumer, or we are talking about the consumer responsibility. It means with certain right which was provided from the COPRA 1986, a consumer who is going to consume the things, a consumer who is going to purchase the thing from the market itself has certain responsibilities also as a aware or as a educated public, right? Now what are these responsibility? According to COPRA 1986, consumer की भी कुछ responsibilities बनती है market में वो किसी deal में engage हो उससे पहले. These responsibilities say Be aware about the various goods and services available in the market so that an intelligent and wise choice can be made. Now, COPRA has given a right to choose. But if a consumer does not aware about the different kind of variety of product which are available into the market, then that right will not work, right? So, the first responsibility of consumer is that before he is going to purchase any kind of product, he should be aware about the information about the variety of product which are available into the market so that he can go through with the intelligent choice. Next, say buy only standardized goods as they provide quality assurance. Now, it is also our responsibility, our means the consumer responsibility, that whenever we are going to purchase any product, we should be purchasing the product according to the marks or according to the quality assurance over there. And ये quality assurance कैसे होती है? By going through with the standardized product. और standardized product कौन होते हैं? जो कि एक particular mark के through certified होते हैं, जिन्हें कौन provide करता है? BIS provide करता है. Like if we are going to purchase electronic product, we should go through with the ISI mark. अगर हम foods related product purchase कर रहे हैं, we should go through with the FEO mark. If you are going to purchase jewelry, you should go through with the hallmarks. So these, if you are going to purchase agriculture based product, you should go through with agro based mark or AG mark. So ये basically क्या है? These are basically quality assurance, जो कि ये assure कराते हैं that if these marks are present on the product, it means the product is qualified product. So even government has make us a system, government ने एक system बना रखा है that a qualified product में कौन कौन से mark लगने वाले हैं according to their variety. It our responsibility now to purchase these qualified product. Next, responsibility of consumers say that learn about the risk associated with the product and services, follow manufacturer's instructions and use the product safely. Now this say that before using the product, it is the responsibility of a consumer before using the product and services to go through with the instructions regarding the safety use of product which is written over there, so that risk can be decreased or risk cannot be arise. Next, responsibility of consumers say read labels carefully so as to have information about prices, net weight, manufacturing and expiry date. Now according to COPRA 1986 which say right to be informed, right? Right to inform में क्या बोलते हैं? That consumer has a complete right to get information about the product and its ingredient. Ingredient can be as a form of prices, its net quantity, as a form of that the expiry date, manufacturing date, all this information should be there in the product. Now for that labeling of product is done. ये सारी information कहाँ होती है? Product के labeling में होती है. Now it become a duty of a consumer. Label तो product हो गया है information provide करने के लिए, बट हमारी भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है कि हम उस प्रोडक्ट के लेबल को क्या करें? रीड करें. Next, assert yourself to ensure that you get a fair deal. Now once we have finished with the deal, we should also know exactly that are the deal is fair or not. How we will be knowing about it? We should be comparing the product which we have purchased and the benefit the product is going to give. Is the money which is paid by us, is it justifying the product or not? This is how we will be able to ensure that the deal is fair or not. Next is be honest in your dealing. Choose only from legal goods and services and discourage unscrupulous practices like black market and hoarding. Now, a market this time is facing a biggest problem of black marketing, right? Now, we basically give whole blame to the seller for this or producer for that. But as a consumer, as a responsible consumer of a country, we should also be aware about this, that if we will be not purchasing the material from the black market, अगर हम ब्लैक मार्केटिंग में कोई मटेरियल परचेज नहीं करेंगे तो ब्लैक मार्केटिंग विल ऑटोमेटिकली स्टॉप. So this is our responsibility also, that we should be very honest about our deal. We should be choosing only those goods and services which are legal. We should not promote black marketing. Next, responsibility of consumers say ask for a cash memo on purchase of goods or services. This would serve as a proof of purchase made. Now this basically say that whenever we are purchasing any goods or services we should ask for a cash memo. कैश मेमो क्या है? कैश मेमो एक बेसिकली एक बिल है विच वी हैव एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ रिटर्न, जो हमारे पास में एक रिटर्न फॉर्म में होता है परचेजिंग का, राइट? सो इफ़ वी आर गोइंग टू फिल अ कंप्लेन इन टू द फ्यूचर, दैट केस वी रिक्वायर्ड अ रिटर्न फॉर्म ऑफ कैश मेमो और कैश बिल. So it is our responsibility to ask for a cash memo or cash bill. Next, say File a complaint in an appropriate consumer forum in case of shortcoming in the quality of goods purchased or services availed. Do not fail to take any action even when the amount involved is small. Now this is the another responsibility of a consumer, that if a consumer file or if a consumer feel that he has been cheated from the seller while dealing in any product or services, he should be filing that complaint to the agencies or to the consumer forum. He should not think about the amount of the product or services, no matter whether the amount of product or services is less, but if the deal has been done into unfair manner, then complaint should be filed. Next is form consumer as societies which would play an active part in educating consumer and safeguarding their interests. Now according to this basically say that it is also a responsibility of a aware or educated consumer to form a society of different consumer interests, those who will be working for educating the consumer and those who will be working for the purpose of promoting the interest of consumer. Now the next responsibility of consumer basically say that respect the environment, avoid waste, littering and contributing to pollution. Now as a consumer we should also be respecting our environment by not using those kind of goods, by not throwing the waste anyway and not contributing to the pollution. So this is all about the different kind of responsibility which a consumer should follow if they want to become a aware or educated consumer. Next we will be talking about the different way and means of consumer protection. It means कैसे बहुत सारे ways हैं, मेथड हैं जिनके थ्रू कंज्यूमर को प्रोटेक्ट किया जा सकता है और कोपरा 1986 के ऑब्जेक्टिव को अचीव किया जा सकता है. Now for this you should be knowing what was the objective of COPRA 1986. So the main objective of COPRA 1986 was to protect the consumer from the different kind of fraud which was occurring into the market and promoting the interest of a consumer, right? So this was the objective. Now what are the different other way or different other mean by which we can able to achieve these objective of consumer protection? So the first is self-regulation by business. Self-regulation by business basically say that if a business is enlightened business or if a firm is enlightened firm who know that they need to work for a interest of consumer or consumer society. Why? Because they know that they will be working. So if the consumer is, this basically say the way and means of consumer protection. Now what are the different means by which we are able to protect consumer, right? So first is self-regulation by business. Self-regulation by business basically say that if a business itself is self-regulated, they are following all the rules regulation which is made by government for the purpose of providing protection to the consumer. They are socially responsible. They are ethically responsible toward the society. They are not indulged into any unfair trade practices, right? So in this manner what will happen? The consumer will itself be protected, and the same time even the government has also made certain department of consumer affairs like GOI, that is just a campaigning which was run by government which is called as Jago Grahak Jago. Now this campaigning is running according to the multimedia awareness. Multimedia के थ्रू हम इसे अवेयर करा रहे हैं, where we are informing the consumer, where we are educating the consumer, we are awareing the consumer about their responsibility. Now if a business is self-regulated by itself, two things are going to happen. The consumer is also going to get benefit here because they are going to get protection to the market, and the same time a business who is self-regulated, who is satisfying its consumer time to time, is going to get a long-term interest and they are going to get a long-term profit into the market. Now the next manner or next way or means by which consumer can be protected and the objective of COPRA 1986 can be achieved is business association. Now business associations are basically association of trade. They are basically associations of commerce and business like FICCI. FICCI is the biggest business association which is called as Federation of Indian and Chamber of Commerce, और जो second होता है इसका CII है इसका form, that is called as Commerce of India or Confederation of India, right? Now these are the two different kind of trade association which has been set up by government for the purpose of laying down the code of conduct so that every member, those who are linked with the business, They know that what kind of code of conduct are there which is supposed to be followed from there, and time to time FICCI and CII provide guidelines for the customer also and for the seller also how to deal with each other. The next is consumer awareness. Now this is a very important term according to which the consumer protection objective can be achieved. It basically say that a consumer who is well informed about his right, his relief available to him, would be in a position to raise his voice against any unfair trade practice or any kind of fraud or exploitation occurred with him. Now, if a consumer, lots of right has been given, the sixth right has been given to consumer from COPRA 1986. There are 10 legal act which has been passed by government, including COPRA 1986, for the purpose of protecting the consumer. But if a consumer is not aware about these laws, these rights, so these responsibility, so then nobody can help out the consumer. So if we want to protect the consumer, the very important way or means for consumer protection is consumer awareness. If a consumer is well informed about its right, about the different redressal agencies which are available where he is supposed to fill out the case in case the fraud has been done with him, or the different kind of relief available to him, so then no seller can able to cheat him and no unfair trade practice can occur with him. Now next is consumer organization. Now consumer organization is very important role playing to educating the consumer about their right and providing protection to them. These organizations are basically somewhere working as a NGOs also, यानी नॉन गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के फॉर्म पे भी काम करती हैं कहीं पे. एंड इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का मेन काम क्या होता है, जो मेन वर्क ऑफ दीज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आर प्रोवाइडिंग अवेयरनेस टू द कंज्यूमर. Now the consumer who are educated, we can easily aware them. But the consumer who are not educated, it is a responsibility for the consumer organization and other consumer groups also to educate these consumer, to aware these consumer about their rights, about the relief, about the redressal agency which are available, so that protection can be provided to them. And the another work which is done by the consumer organization is also that they try to force out the business firm, यानी ये force करती हैं business firm को, so that the business firm will not indulge into any kind of exploitation with the consumer. Next is government. Now the next way by which we can able to protect consumer or we can able to achieve the COPRA 1986 objective is government. Now government basically work is to protect the interest of consumer, and for this they work into a different manner. What government has done basically is they have started a campaigning of GOI, that is जागो ग्राहक जागो, right? एक campaigning इसने खोली है और इसने they have set up a toll free number or which is called as a helpline number also. Within a time period they have set a legal framework also, एक लीगल फ्रेमवर्क बना रखा है, एक लेजिस्लेशन काउंसिल बन रखी है, एंड देर आर लॉट्स ऑफ एक्ट विच हैज़ बीन मेड देर. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट 1986 COPRA, government has provided 3-tier machinery under it that was called as district machinery, state and national level machinery, where the consumer can fill out their complaint and from where the government can provide, by the help of these 3-tier machinery system, the consumer can be provided relief from the exploitation which is occurring into the market. Now this is all about the different kind or different ways or means by which consumer protection can be achieved and the objective of COPRA can be get. Now we will be going through with the redressal agencies under Consumer Protection Act. You can understand it from here also, from the diagram chart given below. The redressal agencies under Consumer Protection Act 1986, the first will be District Forum, the second will be State Commission, the third will be National Commission and the fourth will be Supreme Court, right? बेसिकली जो 3 मशीनरी आर्किटेक्चर सिस्टम और 3 मशीनरी सिस्टम्स जो कंज्यूमर कोपरा 1986 के अंदर आती हैं, दैट इज डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम, स्टेट कमीशन और नेशनल कमीशन. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम इज बेसिकली कैन ऑल्सो बी कॉल्ड एज डिस्ट्रिक्ट कंज्यूमर डिस्प्यूट रिडल्सल फोरम. State Commission can also be called as State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commissions, and National Commission can also be called as National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, right? और हम डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम को डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम, स्टेट कमीशन और इनको नेशनल कमीशन भी बोल सकते हैं. Now while the national commission is set up by the central government, जो ये 3 टायर में जो लास्ट सिस्टम होता है मशीनरी नेशनल कमीशन का, ये सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने सेटअप कर रखा है, बट द स्टेट कमीशन और डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम जो सेटअप हो रखे हैं, दिस इज सेटअप बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. Now what is basically these three? These three are basically द 3 टायर रिल्सल एजेंसीज, यानी 3 टायर मशीनरी सिस्टम हैं ये आपके, जो कि कोपरा 1986 ने ओपन कर रखे हैं. एंड वाई दिस वॉज सेटअप? दिस वॉज बेसिकली सेटअप फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन, यानी कंज्यूमर को प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करने के लिए सेटअप कर रखा है, सो दैट इन केस अ कंज्यूमर के साथ में कोई भी फ्रॉड होता है तो कंज्यूमर कैन फाइल देयर कंप्लेंट ईदर इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट और स्टेट और नेशनल, राइट. सो लेट्स सी बेसिकली व्हाट इट इज़, और उससे पहले विल बी गोइंग थ्रू कि व्हाट इज़ कंज्यूमर, कंज्यूमर होता क्या है, और कंज्यूमर हैज़ अ डिफरेंट डेफिनेशन इन जनरल टर्म एंड कंज्यूमर हैज़ अ डिफरेंट डेफिनेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू कोपरा 1986. लेट्स सी अ जनरल डेफिनेशन ऑफ कंज्यूमर. सो कंज्यूमर क्या है? कंज्यूमर इज जनरली अंडरस्टूड एज अ पर्सन हु यूज और कंज्यूम गुड्स और अवेल ऑफ एनी सर्विसेज अंडर द कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट. यानी कंज्यूमर क्या है? कंज्यूमर एक बेसिकली एक पर्सन है जो कि क्या करता है, किसी गुड्स को या तो कंज्यूम करता है या उस गुड को यूज़ करता, सर्विसेज को यूज़ करता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कंज्यूमर. नाउ कोपरा 1986 के अंदर कंज्यूमर की डेफिनेशन इज डिफरेंट. लेट्स सी द फर्स्ट डेफिनेशन ऑफ कोपरा 1986 कंज्यूमर. इफ इट इज डीलिंग विद गुड्स, अगर डील किस में हो रही है? गुड्स में हो रही है. तो कंज्यूमर की डेफिनेशन क्या हुई कोपरा 1986 में? सो एनी पर्सन हु बाय एनी गुड्स फॉर अ कंसिडरेशन which has been paid or promised or partly paid and partly promised or under any scheme of deferred payment. It include any user of such goods when such use is made with the approval of the buyer but does not include a person who obtained goods for resale or any commercial purpose. It means according to Copra 1986, who is consumer of a good? A person who buy any goods, किसी एक पर्सन ने गुड्स को बाय किया, किस कंसिडरेशन पे बाय किया? या तो पेड हो गया पूरा, या कि प्रॉमिस किया कि पेड हो जाएगा, बाद में पेड करेगा, या तो पार्टली पेड अमाउंट कर दी है, या अमाउंट विल बी पेड पार्टली लेटर ऑन, प्रॉमिस किया है, या फिर जो किसी डेफर्ड पेमेंट के थ्रू अंदर स्कीम के अंदर उसने गुड्स को परचेज किया है. नाउ इट विल इंक्लूड एनी यूजर ऑफ सच गुड्स which such use is made with the approval of buyer but does not include a person who obtained the goods for the purpose of commercial or resale. Means any user who has purchased the goods, buy a good with a paid amount full or promise to pay later on, partly paid amount or partly promise to pay later on. Now or a paid any deferred under any deferred system, but good has been consumed either by him or it is approval by a buyer to use somebody else, but the person who has been given goods will use it for his own consumption, not for the purpose of reselling. यानी अगर reselling के purpose से goods को लिया गया है, that person will not be called as a person of consumer according to Copra 1986. Now who is consumer एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ सर्विसेज, यानी सर्विसेज रेंडर करने में कौन कंज्यूमर है कोपरा 96 में? सो इट इज़ अगेन द सेम डेफिनेशन इज दे दैट एनी पर्सन हु इज़ हायरिंग और अवेलिंग द सर्विसेज, यानी कोई पर्सन जो कि सर्विसेज को हायर कर रहा है या उसे यूज़ कर रहा है, और कंसिडरेशन क्या, अमाउंट कैसे पे हो रही है, या तो पूरी अमाउंट पेड हो गई या प्रॉमिस है कि इट विल बी पेड लेटर ऑन, पार्टली या पार्टली पेड हुई है और पार्टली प्रॉमिस्ड है, या फिर किसी डेफर्ड सिस्ट पेमेंट के अंदर सर्विसेज को रेंडर किया जा रहा है. Now it will include beneficiary of services when such services are availed of with the approval of person concerned, यानी the person who is taking the benefit of services after the approval of somebody but does not include a person who avail of such services for any commercial purpose. यानी कोई भी एक ऐसा पर्सन जो सर्विसेज को एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है, सर्विसेज को यूटिलाइज कर रहा है, या तो फुल पेमेंट करने के बाद में, या पेमेंट लेटर करने के बाद में, या पार्टली पेमेंट उसने करी और पार्टली वो लेटर करेगा, या किसी डेफर्ड सिस्टम के अंदर पे करा है, नहीं डेफर्ड सिस्टम में नहीं जो हम बाद में पे करने वाले हैं, राइट. बट वो उसे या तो खुद पे सर्विसेज को यूटिलाइज कर रहा है, या फिर उस सर्विसेज को किसी दूसरे को अवेलेबल करा रहा है उसके यूटिलाइजेशन के लिए. बट अगर वो सर्विसेज रीसेल हो रही है यानी somebody else is going to resell that services for the purpose of commercial purpose, that person will not be called as a consumer. Now this is the definition of consumer according to COPRA 1986. Now who can file a complaint? Complaint कौन file कर सकता है? I have already told you that COPRA 1986 has made 3 redressal agencies. एक redressal agencies बनी हुई है. Under this one redressal agencies there are 3 machinery tied system. इस machinery 3 machinery tied system है उसमें district forum, state commissioner और national commission. Now who can file a complaint? लेकिन इन commission में complaint कौन file कर सकता है? So let's see. The first is any consumer can file a complaint on his her own and does not need the services of advocate professional. It means any consumer who has indulged or with whom the fraud has occurred can file a complaint. उस कंप्लेंट को फाइल करने के लिए कंज्यूमर को किसी एडवोकेट की या किसी प्रोफेशनल की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. नेक्स्ट इज कोई भी एक रजिस्टर्ड कंज्यूमर एसोसिएशन जो कि कंज्यूमर के लिए वेलफेयर के लिए काम करती है, दे कैन फाइल कंप्लेंट. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कैन फाइल कंप्लेंट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कैन फाइल कंप्लेंट. और एक से ज़्यादा वन और मोर कंज्यूमर who on the behalf of number of consumer having the same interest can file complaint. A legal heir or representative like your lawyer, they can file complaint on the behalf of deceased consumer or a consumer complaint under section 2B of Consumer Protection Act 1986. यानी ऐसी कोई कंप्लेंट जो ऑलरेडी फिल्ड है कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट के रिडल्सल एजेंसीज में, सेक्शन 2B के अंदर वो कंप्लेंट दोबारा रिफिल हो सकती है. So these are basically a person or representative who can fill complaint into the redressal agencies. Now let's see the consumer grievances or the redressal or by 3-tier machinery system under COPRA 1986. यानी वो 3-tier machinery system जो COPRA 1986 ने प्रोवाइड कर रखी है कंज्यूमर को, इन केस दे हैव बीन चीटेड इनटू द मार्केट, वो कहाँ जाके अपनी कंप्लेंट को फिल कर सकते हैं. So first is district forum. Now children, you have to note it down that in India we have 644 district forum. यानी इंडिया में हमारे पास में कोपरा 1986 के अंदर कितने डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम सेटअप हो रखे हैं? 644 डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमीशन सेटअप आर सेटअप ओवर दे. एंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम में बेसिकली जो उसका बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर्स होता है वो क्या होता है? देयर इज़ 1 प्रेसिडेंट एंड 2 अदर मेंबर. राइट नाउ दीज 2 अदर मेंबर, one of them should be a woman. यानी 1 is president who is heading the district forum. With president there will be 2 other member and out of these 2 other member 1 will be the woman. Now these all peoples are going to be appointed or the district forum are going to be appointed by the state government. डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम को कौन रन कराता है, इसके लिए कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट कौन बनाता है और इसके जो स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं लाइक प्रेसिडेंट और जो इसके बाकी मेंबर्स इनको कौन अपॉइंट करता है? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अपॉइंट करता है. नाउ हु कैन फिल कंप्लेंट इनसाइड डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम? Now, a complaint can be made to district forum when the value of goods or services in question along with the compensation claim does not exceed rupees 20 lakh. It means अगर कोई भी कंज्यूमर जिसके साथ में चीटिंग हुई है और उसकी जो गुड्स और सर्विसेज की अमाउंट है, जो गुड्स और सर्विसेज से वो सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है, राइट, उसकी जो अमाउंट है प्लस वो जो कंपनसेशन अमाउंट उसके लिए मांग रहा है चीटिंग के लिए, अगर वो 20 लाख को एक्सीड नहीं कर रही है, इन दैट टाइम the consumer will be filing case into a district forum. So this is definition you need to remember that any complaint where the value of goods and services यानी goods और services की value plus the claim compensation amount which is claimed by the consumer does not exceed 20 lakh, in that case the complaint will be filed into district forum. यानी 20 लाख तक की कंप्लेंट और कंपनसेशन अमाउंट यानी ऐसी कंप्लेंट जिसमें गुड्स और सर्विसेज की जो अमाउंट है वो और कंपनसेशन अमाउंट दोनों को अगर जोड़ दिया जाए 20 लाख तक आ रहा है तो वो कंप्लेंट कहाँ जाके रजिस्टर्ड होगी? डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम में रजिस्टर्ड होगी. नाउ वंस द कंप्लेंट इज फिल्ड इनटू डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम, now what district forum will do? The district forum will ask for sampling of goods. District forum sampling of goods मांगेगा. They will send these sample of goods for the testing into laboratories. वो laboratories में उसकी testing के लिए भेजेगा. And once the test report has come, the district forum will call both the parties, the witness parties also and the seller parties also, and they will according to the justification, according to the report of laboratories, and after hearing to both the parties, they will give their orders. Right now in case the consumer is not satisfied with the order of the district forum, so what he can do, within the 30 day of passing of the order, the consumer can reappeal his case or appeal it before to the state commission. राइट, इट मीन्स अगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम के जस्टिफिकेशन से, डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम के ऑर्डर से कंज्यूमर सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है, तो ऑर्डर पास होने के 30 डेज़ के अंदर वो उस सेम कंप्लेन को कहाँ रीअपील कर सकता है, स्टेट कमीशन में रीअपील कर सकता है. राइट, नाउ नेक्स्ट इज स्टेट कमीशन. नाउ स्टेट कमीशन में क्या है, सो इन आवर कंट्री वी हैव 365 स्टेट कमीशन. हमारे इंडिया में 365 स्टेट कमीशन है. एंड द बॉडी ऑफ स्टेट कमीशन इज दैट ईच स्टेट कमीशन कंसिस्ट वन प्रेजिडेंट जो इसको हेड करेगा, एंड नॉट लेस देन 2 अदर मेंबर, यानी कम से कम 2 मेंबर होने चाहिए. 2 से ज़्यादा हो सकते हैं बट 2 से कम नहीं हो सकते हैं. राइट, एंड अगेन आउट ऑफ दीज 2 मेंबर वन शुड बी अ वुमेन. इन दोनों में से एक क्या होनी चाहिए, एक वुमेन होनी चाहिए. नाउ अगेन दे आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. इनको भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अपॉइंट करता है, जैसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम के स्टेटरी को अपॉइंट करता है. एंड इन स्टेट कमीशन अ कंप्लेन or of goods and services whose value in question along with the compensation claim amount is exceeding 20 lakh but does not exceed 1 करोड़. यानी एक ऐसी कंप्लेन जिसके गुड्स और सर्विसेज की वैल्यू कंपनसेशन अमाउंट के साथ में कितनी है, 20 लाख से ज़्यादा हो रही है, लेकिन 1 करोड़ से ज़्यादा नहीं है, 1 करोड़ को क्रॉस नहीं कर रही है. सो दैट कंप्लेन विल बी फिल्ड इनटू स्टेट कमीशन. नाउ व्हेन वी से अबाउट स्टेट कमीशन, द अपील अगेंस्ट द डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम. एक तो ये है कि अगर फ्रेश कंप्लेन फिल हुई है स्टेट कमीशन में, तो उसका क्राइटेरिया क्या है कि वो कंप्लेन जिसके गुड्स और सर्विसेज की वैल्यू और कंपनसेशन के अमाउंट जो है 20 लाख से 1 करोड़ के बीच में, वो फ्रेश कंप्लेन यहाँ पे फिल हो सकती है स्टेट कमीशन में. एंड इफ़ एनी डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम कंप्लेन वे द कंज्यूमर इज़ नॉट सेटिस्फाइड, यानी जहाँ पे डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम की कोई भी ऐसी कंप्लेन जहाँ पे कि पार्टी सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है ऑर्डर से, वो कंप्लेन ऑटोमेटिकली कहाँ पे शिफ्ट हो सकती है, अगर पार्टीज रीअपील करे तो स्टेट कमीशन में शिफ्ट हो सकती हैं. नाउ अगेन व्हाट स्टेट कमीशन विल डू वंस द कंप्लेन इज रजिस्टर्ड, स्टेट कमीशन विल आल्सो आस्क फॉर द सैम्पलिंग ऑफ प्रोडक्ट and they will send these sampling to the testing for laboratories. Once the laboratory test report will come, and after hearing to both the parties again whom the complaint is filed, then the state commission will pass their orders. And in case the state commission's order which has been passed by him, the parties are not satisfied with this, so what they can do, he can appeal before the national commission within 30 days of passing of the order. यानी अगर पार्टीज़ यहाँ पे सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हुई है स्टेट कमीशन के ऑर्डर से भी, तो 30 डेज ऑफ ऑर्डर पास करने के अंदर अंदर वो अपने केस को रीअपील कर सकती है. कहाँ पे, नेशनल कमीशन में. नाउ नेशनल कमीशन, नाउ दिस इज़ द लास्ट 3 टायर मशीनरी सिस्टम का, ये 3rd टायर होता है मशीनरी सिस्टम रिड्यूसल एजेंसीज का. नाउ नेशनल कमीशन इज़ बेसिकली कॉल्ड एज अ टेरिटोरियल जुरिस्डिक्शन ओवर द होल कंट्री, यानी जो होल कंट्रीज में रन करती है. द नेशनल कमीशन कंसिस्ट ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट, इसकी बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर्स क्या होता है, इसमें एक प्रेसिडेंट होता है जो इसको हेड करता है, एंड एटलीस्ट 4 अदर मेंबर, कम से कम 4 और मेंबर्स इसके साथ में होने चाहिए. एंड इन 4 में से भी एक क्या होनी चाहिए, वुमेन होनी चाहिए. नाउ द डिफरेंस हेयर इज एज द डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम एंड स्टेट कमीशन इट वॉज अपॉइंटेड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉरम और स्टेट कमीशन के जो अपॉइंटीज होते थे उन्हें स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अपॉइंट करता था, बट द अपॉइंटी ऑफ नेशनल कमीशन इज अपॉइंटेड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. नाउ हु कैन फिल अ कंप्लेंट टू नेशनल कमीशन? सो नेशनल कमीशन बेसिकली मीन्स व्हेन द वैल्यू ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज इन क्वेश्चन along with the compensation claim exceed 1 करोड़. इट मीन्स अगर कोई भी ऐसा गुड्स और सर्विसेज जिसकी कंप्लेन यूज़र करना चाह रहा है, गुड्स और सर्विसेज की वैल्यू और उसकी कंपनसेशन की अमाउंट 1 करोड़ को क्रॉस कर रही है, इस केस में वो कहाँ जाके वो करेगा, कंप्लेन को फिल करेगा. दे विल फिल कंप्लेन टू द नेशनल कमीशन. That is one thing. And the second thing is that the appeal against in order of state commission can also be filed before the national commission. It means कोई भी ऐसी कंप्लेन जो स्टेट कमीशन में फिल्ड हुई होगी, यानी जिसके प्राइजेस कितने हुए होंगे, 20 लाख से और 1 करोड़ के बीच में रहे होंगे. राइट, now in that case any complaint which was filled into state commission and this user or the filler is not satisfied with the order, in that case they can also reappeal that into the National Commission. Now again the same procedure will be done here. National Commission will ask for the goods for a sampling purpose. They will send these goods for the testing into laboratories, and once laboratory test report come, after hearing to both the party against each other, then the order will be passed by National Commission. Now this order is called as the original jurisdiction एंड इज अपीलेबल बिफोर द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. यानी ये जो ऑर्डर नेशनल कमीशन पास करता है ये ओरिजिनल जुडिकेशन होता है, जिसको हम किसके आगे अपील कर सकते हैं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अपील. बट दिस मीन्स दैट द ओनली दोज अपील्स वे द वैल्यू ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज इन क्वेश्चन अलॉन्ग विद द कंपनसेशन क्लेम एक्सीड 1 crore and where the aggrieved party was not satisfied in order of the National Commission. Now we need to remember that when we talk about the National Commission, we are filing a fresh complaint into National Commission whose range of goods and values amount with the compensation amount is exceeding 1 crore. सो अगर 1 करोड़ से रिलेटेड कोई एक्सीडिंग कोई अमाउंट है, कोई प्रोडक्ट है जिसको रजिस्टर्ड किया गया है और कोई कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर्ड करी गई है नेशनल कमीशन में, जिसके डिसीजन से कंज्यूमर सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है या पार्टी सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है, सो दैट कंप्लेंट दे कैन री अपील और दैट कंप्लेंट दे कैन चैलेंज टू होम, दे कैन चैलेंज टू सुप्रीम कोर्ट. But one thing you have to remember here, that only the complaint which was fresh registered into the National Commission can be challenged to Supreme Court. The complaint of the State Commission and District Forum cannot be challenged to Supreme Court. यानी Supreme Court में सिर्फ वही complaint challenge होंगी जिनके गुड्स और सर्विसेज की वैल्यू और कंपनसेशन की अमाउंट मिला के कितनी हो रही है, एक्सीडिंग 1 करोड़. और ये कौन से अमाउंट, ये कहाँ पे होते हैं, ये सिर्फ स्टेट कमीशन नेशनल कमीशन के अंदर ही होता है. Now, so this is basically a very important point here, that state commission can be challenged before the national commission and no further. यानी state commission की जो complaint होती है वो कहाँ तक आ सकती है, उसको हम national commission तक challenge कर सकते हैं, re-appeal कर सकते हैं, but we cannot re-appeal it or we cannot challenge it to the supreme court. supreme court में सिर्फ national commission की ही complaint को challenge किया सकता है. Now what are the different kind of relief available, यानी कौन कौन सी रिलीफ अवेलेबल हैं इफ़ द कंज्यूमर इज चीटेड इनटू द मार्केट. अगर कंज्यूमर के साथ मार्केट में चीटिंग हुई है तो कौन कौन सी कंप्लेन और कौन कौन से रिलीफ अवेलेबल कराती है उसे कोपरा 96 रिडल्सल एजेंसी. द फर्स्ट थिंग इज रिमूव द डिफेक्ट इन गुड और सर्विसेज. यानी इन केस द कंज्यूमर हैज़ बीन चीटेड बाय प्रोवाइडिंग द डिफेक्टिव गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, तो पहला रिलीफ क्या अवेलेबल होगा उसको कि गवर्नमेंट उसको ऑर्डर पास करेगी, रिडल्सल एजेंसीज ऑर्डर पास करेंगी सेलर को कि वो गुड्स और सर्विसेज से डिफेक्ट को रिमूव कराएं. द सेकेंड रिलीफ विल बी दैट डिफेक्टिव प्रोडक्ट शुड बी रिप्लेस और न्यू प्रोडक्ट शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड टू द कंज्यूमर. द थर्ड विल बी प्राइस शुड बी रिफंडेड. यानी जो प्रोडक्ट डिफेक्टिव प्रोवाइड करा आपने उसके प्राइजेस आप क्या करोगे, रिफंड करोगे कंज्यूमर को. Fourth is to pay a reasonable amount of compensation for any loss or injuries suffered by consumer due to the negligence of opposite party. It means because of giving a harmful product, इसकी वजह से अगर consumer के साथ में something wrong occurred, some injury occurred, it become a responsibility of a seller to provide or to pay him a reasonable amount of compensation. Next is to pay punitive damages in appropriate circumstances. Punitive damages basically means over the prices of the product. Means if a seller has cheated the purchaser sometime, as a relief they also need to pay them over price of the product. Next is to discontinue the unfair restrictive trade practice and not to repeat it in the future. Now this is also order which can be passed by redsel agencies, that they has to discontinue the unfair practice or this should not be conducted into the future. Next is not to offer harmful goods for sale. If there is any harmful goods which has been produced by the producer or seller, then they have to stop asking these goods for the purpose of sale. They have to withdraw the harmful goods from the sale. उनको harmful goods को sell से withdraw करना पड़ेगा. To cease manufacture of harmful goods and to desist of offering harmful services. If there is any harmful goods which is manufactured, उस manufacturers के harmful goods को seize करना और harmful services को stop कराना. These kind of relief will also provided from the redsel agency side. to pay any amount not less than 5% of the value of the defective goods or deficient services to be credited to the consumer welfare fund or any other organization person to be utilized in the prescribed manner. Or in case any defective goods and services has been provided to the consumer, this kind of relief can also be provided from the redressal agency side, that 5% of the amount of value of defective goods, यानी जो डिफेक्टिव गुड्स और सर्विसेज है उनके अमाउंट के 5% वैल्यूज़ को क्या करना, क्रेडिट करना, या तो किसी कंज्यूमर वेलफेयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर फंड्स में, या फिर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कंज्यूमर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, और फिर टू द पर्सन whom they have given provided defective goods or services. Next relief which can be given by redressal agencies, that is to issue corrective advertisement or neutralize the effect of misleading advertisement. It means if a wrong advertisement has been done from the seller side or producer side, and because of this the cheating has been done with the consumer, then this can be also relief provided from the redressal agencies, that they need to correct the advertisement. Next is to pay adequate cost to the appropriate party, and this is the another relief, that they are required to pay out a particular amount or adequate amount to the party with whom they have indulged into unfair trade practices. Now these are a different kind of relief which are provided by redressal agencies towards their consumer. Now the next say the different kind of role of consumer organization in NGOs. It means NGO is basically what? NGO is basically non-government organization which is set for the protection and promotion of consumer interest, यानी जो सेटअप हो रखी हैं कंज्यूमर के इंटरेस्ट को प्रमोट करने के लिए और प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करने के लिए. Now when we say about non-government organizations, it is also called as non-profit organization, जिसका मेन एम क्या होता है, वेलफेयर, पीपल के वेलफेयर के लिए काम करना. Right now they have a constitution of their own and are free from government interference. So NGOs को गवर्नमेंट इंटरफेयर नहीं कर सकता है, इनके अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस होते हैं, अपने कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट्स होते हैं, और बेसिकली इनका काम क्या होता है, वेलफेयर प्रोवाइड करने के लिए. कंज्यूमर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और NGOs हैव लॉट्स ऑफ फंक्शंस. जो हमारी कंज्यूमर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होती हैं और NGOs होती हैं, नॉन गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होती है, दे कंडक्ट लॉट्स ऑफ फंक्शंस फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ प्रोटेक्टिंग एंड प्रमोटिंग द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ कंज्यूमर. Like they try to educate and general public about the consumer right by organizing training program and seminar and workshop. टाइम टू टाइम दीज NGOs एंड कंज्यूमर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या करती हैं, ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम सेटअप करती हैं, सेमिनार्स एंड वर्कशॉप लगाती हैं, सो दैट जनरल पब्लिक को एजुकेट किया जा सके रिगार्डिंग देयर राइट्स. नेक्स्ट इज publishing periodical and other publication to impart knowledge about consumer problems, legal reporting, relief available and other matter of interest. Time to time they publish, or periodically they publish the certain news or information to the magazines, to the newspapers and in another multimedia form, so that what kind of problem consumer is facing, what are the different legal act which is passed for the protection of consumer, and what kind of relief are available, and for other matter of consumer also. Now the next work or next function is carrying out comparative testing of consumer product in accrediting laboratories to test relative qualities of competing brand and publishing the test result for the benefit of consumer. Sometimes these NGOs and these consumer organization also go through with the testing of the consumer product. यानी मार्केट में जो कंज्यूमर प्रोडक्ट अवेलेबल होते हैं, बिकॉज ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या काम कर रही है, कंज्यूमर के वेलफेयर के लिए काम कर रही हैं, तो टाइम टू टाइम ये कंज्यूमर के प्रोडक्ट की टेस्टिंग कराती हैं, सैम्पलिंग कराती हैं, और उस टेस्टिंग की जो रिपोर्ट होती है वो पब्लिश कराती हैं न्यूज़पेपर्स में और मैगजीन्स में, सो दैट कंज्यूमर विल बी ऑल्सो अवेयर कि विच प्रोडक्ट इज गुड फॉर देम. The next is encouraging consumer to strongly protest and take an action against unscrupulous, exploitative and unfair trade practice of seller. Now this is the another work of these NGOs and organizations to encourage the consumer that in case any deal has been done wrong with them, they need to take a very strong action against these things. Next is filing complaint in appropriate consumer court on behalf of consumers. Now this basically say there are certain consumer which are not educated and not much aware, so on the behalf of these consumer, even these organization can also fill out the complaint. Now providing legal assistance to consumer by way of providing aid, legal advice and seeking legal remedies. There are certain consumer which require legal help in case of filing the complaint to the consumer redressal agencies, though for that they also provide legal help or legal advice to the consumer. Taking an initiative in filing case in consumer court in the interest of the general public, not for any individual. Now sometime on the basis or for the behalf of the whole party or whole interest group of public, they fill out or they take out an initiative for filing case to the consumer court also. This case they never fill on behalf of one person, they basically fill when it was a welfare about the whole public. Now these all are the different kind of function which is performed by NGOs, non-government organization or consumer organization, for the purpose of promoting the interest of a consumer and providing them protection into the market. Now I will be just telling you just certain NGOs which are engaged in protecting and promoting consumer interest, including the following, like कंज्यूमर कोऑर्डिनेशन काउंसिल दिल्ली. कुछ एन के अलावा ये कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं विच बेसिकली वर्क फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ प्रमोटिंग द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ कंज्यूमर एंड प्रोटेक्टिंग द कंज्यूमर इंटरेस्ट. उनमें एक होती है आपकी कंज्यूमर कोऑर्डिनेशन काउंसिल दिल्ली, यू डोंट नीड टू गो वेरी डीप इन दैट. कॉमन कॉज दिल्ली, वॉलेंट्री ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इंटरेस्ट ऑफ कंज्यूमर एजुकेशन, वॉइस दिल्ली जिसको हम बोलते हैं, और CERC होगी एक, अहमदाबाद में है ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, which is called as Consumer Education and Research Center. The another organization which is working for promoting the interest of consumer is CPC, that is Consumer Protection Council. Then your CGSI, that is Consumer Guidance Society of India, which is there in set up in Mumbai. Then your Mumbai Grahak Panchayat, it's again in Mumbai. Then in your Bangalore we have Karnataka Consumer Service Society. Then in Kolkata we have consumer associations, and then in Jaipur we have CUTS, that is called as Consumer Unity and Trust Society. So children, this was all about these different kind of NGOs and these different organizations which are basically working for the purpose of promoting the consumer and for the purpose of providing protection to the consumer from the different kind of fraud and cheating which is done from the seller or producer side with him. That's all about this chapter. This is all about this chapter. We will be finishing this chapter, and from the next video we will be starting our another chapter. Thank you.